Here again at the Capitol, and we're covering things. As soon as I look around here on the mall, 90% of the people here are from foreign lands, and that's great that they're here supporting our government. But where are the taxpayers at? They're at work. They don't have time to come here, and the other people who are around, the homeless, etc., are living on your tax dollars. So I just find that amusing that there are more people here from other countries supporting this national fair 250 than there are white Americans, Black American taxpayers who are at work. And why is that? Because we have to work to pay for all this. So, I'm getting fed up with that. And part of that is what I call part of the red, white, and blue. Once again, earlier we said red is a taxpayer who's never accepted any government program. White is a taxpayer who's fell on hard times and needs a hand up. And that's what the entitlement programs were originally there for, as a temporary safety net, not to build you into a 401k welfare retirement program. And we have then a large population that is what I deem the blue populations, or the national anchors. They are anchors on our national society. They're on the national budget. They continue to blow up our annual deficits because they've never contributed anything, never will. We can trace back to the 60s when we first had Lyndon Johnson and Kennedy's set up the entitlement program, and you can go back to the generation that got the first benefit for that family, and the legs spread out, and they go to the next generation there. So there are generations out there for the last 50, 60, 70 years that know nothing but getting entitlements. They get a check and they continue to get a check. Obama once said the entitlement queens are not breaking this country. Well, let's take a look back, and in future videos, we will be putting online what the national debt was in the 60s, expanded. And because you start with one mother who had a child, who then had a child who had 2 children, 4 children, 5 children, and so on and so on. And then those 5 had 3 or 4, and all they know how to do is get a 401k check or a welfare check. And all they do is keep taking your money. You go to work, I go to work. They take our taxes, they redistributed our money. Just imagine if you got to keep all that money. Well, I personally want to see a national website showing how much money each person through their social security number and picture have received in entitlement benefits. If you knew that your neighbor had received $70,000, $80,000 a year with all the benefits they get while you're going to work, and you add that up for the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, it'd be surprising to see how much one with name, social security number, and picture, how much money they've received. It's time we find out. Since I'm paying those bills, you're paying those bills as a taxpayer, you're entitled to know where your money's going. And I believe that we need to put a national cap on it. Everybody can vote and agree that it should be 50,000 or 100,000 in a lifetime. But once you exceed that, you no longer receive any benefits. And best yet, we should vote in that, just like other people who lose their right to vote, once you exceed your national limit for entitlements, and if that's 100,000, you lose your right to vote until you've paid back under the 100,000. What are your thoughts? Once again, speaking your mind, join us and tell me what you think.